Hi everybody, Sandy here. Today I am going to be making short rib tacos. So it's going to use a chipotle, some chipotle peppers, obviously short ribs. I'm going to brown those off, then they're going to go into the Instant Pot so that I can make them in a little bit shorter time. I don't have 6 or 8 hours to cook them today. I got a friend coming over in about 3 hours, so they take about an hour and 15 minutes or so in the Instant Pot. So that's what I'm going to do. First thing is going to be browning them off. Then I'm going to make the sauce. I'll show you all that. And then they go into the Instant Pot. And then we'll, at the end, we'll shred them for tacos. All right, come along with me. All right, this is going to be a little bit harder for you to see. I've got my Instant Pot over here. I'm going to put it on saute mode. There we go. So we can brown off our meat. This is grapeseed oil. We need something with a little bit higher smoke point than virgin olive oil or extra virgin olive oil. So that's why I use grapeseed oil for things like this. All right, just a little bit in there. Get some tongs out. We're not doing any seasoning here. We're just going to do our short ribs. I got these beautiful little, small, but they're beautiful, very meaty short ribs. You can see that's a lot of meat, not a lot of fat on them. So we're going to do all 6 sides. They're basically cubes, right? So we got 6 sides that we have to cook off here. I'm going to do them in 2 batches. I got 4 in this package, 5 in the other, and that's it. I'll show you what they look like when they're done before we move on to the sauce. Okay, these are ready. First set anyway. You can see I've browned them on all the sides there. That's going to make them taste better. It's also adding lovely deliciousness to our pot here. And now I'll do this next set as well. And then while these are going, I'm going to go ahead and start working on the sauce. So I'm going to move the camera and I'll show you that as I'm doing it. But you'll very likely to hear this sizzling going on in the background. So hopefully it won't be too distracting. Alright, those are in. We'll brown those off. I'm going to start the sauce. So come with me to the other side of the kitchen. Alright, the first thing that the recipe calls for is 1 can of chipotle peppers in adobo sauce. So it says 6 ounces. I've actually got 7 ounce here, but that's going right here into our blender. Everything's going into the blender to make this sauce. So hopefully you'll be able to see that. Next is 4 cloves of garlic. I'm going to wet my knife, as I always tell you to do. That keeps the paper from sticking. Just saw some garlic go flying. Yep. A little tiny clove that was stuck on there. Alright, it calls for 4 large cloves. Looks like I got like 5, 4.5 here. That's fine. A little extra garlic will never gonna hurt you. Okay, I gotta go move the meat. I'll be right back. Okay. As always, please, please, please make sure your knives are sharp. You should regularly sharpen them. Every week at least. Not all of them, right? How many do you use in a week? But like this is one of the knives I lean on a lot. It's a Chicago cutlery knife. We got it as a wedding present. And we've been married for 32 years and it has held up all this time. So nothing but good things to say about it. I got a couple other ones that I use as well, but this one is really my go-to knife. All right, that looks pretty good. Garlic. Oh, I guess I didn't even need to chop it. Duh, it's going in the blender. Can you tell this is my first time making this recipe? All right, meat's making more noise. That means it's ready to flip. All right, next ingredient is 4 ounces of tomato paste. Okay, this is a 6-ounce can, so I'm going to basically eyeball this to about 2/3. And if you hear my timer going off, I'm also making flan for a friend coming over today. I'm going to do that as a separate video, but I got to go take that out of the oven. Okay, we got the tomato paste in there. The next is a 1/4 cup of fresh lime juice. I have no idea how many limes that's going to take to make a 1/4 cup. At least a few, I think. I'm guessing 4. We'll see. I'll start with 2. There's no way it's less than that. Limes, of course, are smaller than lemons, and they tend not to be as juicy anyway. So, we shall see. Alright, that was 2 limes. We're about halfway there. I'm going to go turn the meat. Alright, so I'm going to do 2 more limes here, which will hopefully get us to a 1/4 cup. You see me tossing these are going into my compost bin. That's right here on the counter next to my cutting board, so it's really easy to toss stuff into. Make your life easy, people. There's enough hardship in the world. We don't have to make things harder for ourselves. I'm going to do 1 more lime here because I'm just short of a 1/4 of a cup. Okay, that's a 1/4 of a cup. That's going to go in here also. Okay, we got more to add. I got to get the meat out. All right, next into our mix here is 2 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar. 1, 2. 1 tablespoon. I've got to dry this off. Or use a different measuring spoon, but I'm being lazy. This calls for a tablespoon of ground cumin. Cumin gives things a lovely, lovely earthiness and umami flavor, if you will. All right, a tablespoon of salt. Certainly don't want all that cumin in our salt. This is why you use separate measuring spoons, people. And don't be lazy, like I'm being. Okay, tablespoon of salt. 1/2 cup of beef stock. Got that right here. Okay. Half of a large white onion. Make some room for myself. And I'm not going to cut this into small pieces because it's going into the blender. But I will cut it into a little bit smaller, just so it doesn't have to blend quite as long. So I'll just, there we go. That can go in here. And that is all that goes into that. I'm going to go ahead and blend that. I'll bring it back and show it to you. All right, that, you can see it in there, is liquid. And that's what we are going to marinate. Well, that's our sauce actually going into the Instant Pot. All right, so the meat's going to go back into the Instant Pot. Sauce is going to go on it, and we're going to cook it for 45 minutes in the Instant Pot. So let me take you over there. Okay, so the meat is going into the Instant Pot, and then the sauce is going all over it. All the juices, all of this. We want all that deliciousness in there. Okay, here's our sauce. Okay, just gonna give this a stir. Okay, be careful when you give it a stir, or it will go all over the place. Just making sure that everything is submerged. That's all I'm doing here. Okay, there we go. It's all covered. All right, my lid is over here. Okay, I like to point it this way so that when I vent it, it'll go up under my hood. All right, and I'm going to set this on high pressure. So I'm setting meat, more, and then that's the pressure, and then I'm going up to 45 minutes. Okay, and I don't have to hit start because it'll go automatically. Make sure my vent is in the right position. And that's it. 45 minutes in the Instant Pot on high pressure and let it naturally vent for 15 minutes. I will show you what we do after that. Basically, we're going to take it off the bones, we're going to shred it, and that's going to be it. So that'll be ready to go. Okay, the pressure cooker is done. It has given up all of its steam. Sorry, it has naturally released its steam. These are going to come out. What I'm going to do, I take these out, and I'm going to make sure I get the bones too, whoops, and the bay leaves, if I can see them. There's one. I think I forgot to mention to you guys that I had to add bay leaves to it, so I apologize for that. Okay, so what I'm going to do, what I was trying to say, is I'm going to shred this all, and then we're going to put it back into the sauce so that it will stay hot and it'll be yummy. But you can see now, this just falls apart. And it's good. It's got a little bit of zip. In my opinion, it could use a little salt. I'm not going to add any more salt. Hopefully it's not too hot for my wife. But anyway, I'm going to shred this up, put it back in there, and then we'll be ready for when I serve it. Okay, so here is our meat and our bones. And so a couple things I'm going to do here. First of all, I'm going to switch these. I showed you this before when I made my barbecue beef. But this type of meat, actually I didn't show you this because we didn't have it. But short ribs have this very this isn't right. This stuff, okay? It's got this membrane, that's what it's called. That's icky. Nobody wants to eat that. So I want to make sure that like big globs of fat don't end up in here, because nobody wants a mouthful of that. You can see it, you know, there's fat here. So just, you don't have to be as careful as I am. You know, it's okay. Get in there with your fingers, that's okay too. But this is gonna be chewy. I don't want chewy for my guests. It is fall apart tender though. Oh my gosh. Ah! I got the lid of my Instapot here, and I had it in the sink, so it was getting in the way. Okay. One. There's another one. There's a lot of fat on these. And it's still hot. Should let this cool a little bit before I do this. But I don't wanna. So I'm not going to. They're my fingers and I can burn them if I want to. Yuck. I understand some people don't want to go through this. That's okay. You could always try it with a different cut of meat. I really wanted to do this with short ribs, so, because it's such an unctuous and delicious piece of meat. I think that's the right word, unctuous. Hot. Okay. Next. Get rid of that off the bat. Oh, that one's okay. This is mostly meat, actually, right there. This would be a lot easier if it wasn't so darn hot, because then I could just do this with my hands. Hello, dog. You really want to walk on my feet, huh? But here's the thing, and why you want all that fat when you're cooking, because it adds a tremendous amount of flavor to what you're cooking. Also, it adds to the mouthfeel and making you feel more satisfied than if something is super lean. Not that I'm saying, you know, you want to go crazy with fat, but it does taste good. Hot! Hot, 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 hot. Still not ready for the hands. Dog, what are you doing here? I think he can smell it. He's like, I want it. Whatever it is you've got, I want it. Okay. Oops, bay leaf. Still hot. It's a little better. It's still hot. Come here, Tispy. Come here. Come here. Have a little bite. Oh, there you go. I think that was what he wanted. Okay. Oh, this one, it's all hot. Yep, that one's hot. Hot, 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 hot. Did I mention that this is hot? And I shouldn't be doing this with my hands. That's okay. I'll survive. No. Okay, one more. Hot. That's hot. It's very hot. Hot, hot. Okay. There we go. I'm a mess. I gotta get rid of this. I gotta shred this a little bit more. I gotta clean up the sink. All right. Bye.
If you enjoyed this video, please click the like button. Subscribe to the Sandi Cooks channel so you don't miss new recipes.